Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface and welcome back today to part 14 of this McLaren career on Motorsport Manager. It is the penultimate episode where on Sunday there is going to be 2 episodes coming up today. This is going to be on a little bit earlier, and then we've got the usual episode at 4 PM which will be the season finale, part 15 of season 2. So what we've got today, we've got the American Grand Prix coming up with the track mod that we've got on this game at the moment. It's just called Speedway. Obviously it doesn't actually resemble the real life American F1 track, which is obviously the circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It's just a speedway road course. It's got a few bits to it. It sort of looks like the Iowa Speedway in places. Obviously this long bit coming out in a long like sort of finger and a cutback is like the Kansas Speedway, and there's a lot of similarities as well to the Phoenix International Raceway road course, which is I'm guessing what it's modelled after, because in the base game this is actually called Phoenix. So there's a few things in there. I can't remember how we actually did in this race last year. I think we actually did quite well because we were actually at a point when we were starting to get a few things right with the car, but hopefully we can get a good result here. Last time out, let's try and get back to the last race in Suzuka. Sebastian Vettel won the race. The Ferraris are back on form. Although Kimi Raikkonen didn't have the best of races, but Sebastian Vettel was immense throughout the race. We tried a few things with Alonso to try and get him in front of Vettel. It didn't work. We tried a few things with Hamilton. We went long on a pit stop to try and keep him out and use his boost. It didn't actually work out in getting him in front. But Fernando had a brilliant race. Mercedes also back among the top runners as well. Jenson Button, as we saw last episode, he is regressing as a driver. He's down to 3.5 stars. He's 37, so I'm guessing that next season Fernando Alonso is going to start regressing as well. He's good enough that he can actually make it through the season though, so we're not thinking about dropping him. But of course it is whether he actually resigns with the team, because both of our main drivers at the moment, they are both up for renewal at the end of the season. So whether we can get them to agree to come back or not, that is a whole nother question. But other than that, we've won the title no matter what Ferrari do. Ferrari still trying to get second place back, which I think they're going to do, because Williams has slightly dropped off again. Well, not dropped off, but they've dropped off with the resurgence of Ferrari and Mercedes. Mercedes obviously looking to get past Red Bull into 4th place. Whether they can catch Williams or not is going to be a hard thing for them to do. We're still waiting for the forecasting centres. That's got 7 weeks left. We've got another gearbox building at the moment, which is going to be the gearbox for next year's car. But the Speedway is coming up in 10 days time, so we're just going to skip ahead a few days, come back when it's the beginning of the race. Hopefully we'll have this gearbox and maybe another part built by then, and we'll see what we're looking at that point. So we're back before the American Grand Prix weekend. Ferrari have opened up a new brakes R&D facility, so they're going to be pushing on with their brakes next season. The preview roundup, we won't go through any of that. We do actually have 3 sponsorships in this spot last time. Last time that this was due, if you remember, if you watched this series before, we struggled to actually get 3 offers in here last time, but we've got 3 this time. We've got one from Benson and Hedges. They're both the same, Adidas, and we'll go with Adidas because the Adidas logo looks pretty nice on the side of this car. The Benson and Hedges one didn't look that nice, so the Adidas one actually looks pretty decent on the side of the car. So what have we got coming? Oh, what did we do? So we've done this sponsor. Yeah, just the gearbox, wasn't there? There's just a gearbox to have a quick look at. This one for next season is actually the best part in the game, a 1130. We can actually get that up to a 1164. We have the best rear wing in the game for next season. We have the best front wing as well. And we also have the best engine. So I don't know whether we can actually get another brake build done. We are currently working on a suspension, which should be in the mid 1100s. So hopefully that's somewhere up there as well. But the parts we've got at the moment, we're gonna be up there next season for having the best car overall. So it just depends what we can get back with the drivers. Whether Alonso might retire, there's always a chance of him retiring. There's also a chance that we might not be able to hang on to both of these drivers, because it can be quite finicky. We might only get one chance with one of them, because I've known that to happen in this game. You have the first contract offer rejected and then they're totally out. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. But we're going to go for NGK this time. Hopefully we can get 3rd or above in qualifying. It didn't quite happen for us last time. We got 4th in qualifying last time with the resurgence of Ferrari and Mercedes. But if it doesn't turn out, we still get more for winning just getting 3rd or above in the race than we do for getting qualifying and 7th or above in the race with this Adidas one. So this is what we're going to go with. We've still got the same car setup that we've been using for the last 2 races now, I think it is. I think it's the last 2 races we've been using it for, but we're going to get into this Speedway road course now. We'll run practice and qualifying it usually as we do off video, and we'll come back when it's time to go through the grid. So here we go with the grid for the American Grand Prix. As usual, Sebastian Vettel is in 1st place. A little bit closer the gap this time. Lewis Hamilton only 3/10 for the second behind him in 2nd place. We've got the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas back up the order again, just like in the last race, in 3rd place. And then Fernando Alonso just over 1/10 of a second behind his teammate in our other McLaren in 4th place. And we've got the other Mercedes of Jenson Button in 5th place. Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari in 6th place. So the top 6 cars looking as they should do. The Williams of Daniel Ricciardo up into 7th place. He's looking to hold on to set a 3rd place even in the championship from Sebastian Vettel. Stoffel Van Dorn in the Red Bull doing pretty well in 8th place. The Red Bull's been a little bit off the pace recently. As we can see, Max Verstappen down in 10th place. Jerome D'Ambrosio a little bit higher up than he has been doing recently in 9th place. Sergio Perez in the Force India 11th. The other Force India of Ocon in 12th. Carlos Sainz in the Renault 13th. Followed by his ex-teammate in the Toro Rosso, Danny Kvyat in 14th, the other Toro Rosso of Pierre Gasly in 15th, followed by the second Renault of Jolyon Palmer in 16th, Kevin Magnussen in the Russian time in 17th. Going to be interesting to see what he does at the end of the season. I don't know if his contract's up, but Russian time are going down. Magnussen obviously moved away from Haas when they went down, was replaced by Nico Hulkenberg. Is he going to be doing the same with Russian time this time out? Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber in 18th, Pascal Wehrlein as usual in 19th. The Saubers not doing as well as they were doing last season, and as has become the norm, Rio Haryanto all the way down in 20th place in the second Russian time, a long way behind. But we're hoping for a decent start here. We want to sort of look after these tyres a little bit. Just need to just see what sort of start we can get here. Alonso is up into 3rd place. He's managed to get past Valtteri Bottas beautifully there, and Hamilton's got the inside line on Sebastian Vettel. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He can make it stick. Hamilton is out into 1st place, beats Vettel into 1st place, getting a speed there, doing a lot better than I thought we would. Vettel is a lot quicker. What he's actually doing, he's actually got his tyres in neutral mode. We're going to try to do the same because we want to make these last a little bit. So what we can do is we can get another 3 laps out of this tyre. We can't. We're going to have to 2-stop with Alonso. We're going to be going soft, medium, and then soft again onto this nice fresh pair of softs for the end of the race. Hamilton, meanwhile, he can do another 4 laps on this. And if he can do 5, then we can 1-stop and go for a hard tyre. I don't know whether it's worth the risk. I didn't actually run the hard tyre in practice, so I'm not quite sure how slow it is, but I know the computer car, as usual, will have burnt off all their soft tyres in practice and qualifying. They will be going medium, so we might be able to 1-stop this race on the hards with Lewis Hamilton if we look after the tyres. So we're not going to push them. The weather's quite hot. We can run these in conserve mode for some of the race and use the boost to stay in front. Whereas we know, and Alonso has managed to get past Sebastian Vettel there, but he's going to lose his position back here as we hit the straight. Vettel's car should be really powerful, but Alonso keeping up with him there. Can we boost past him here at some point? No, we'll try hang on to his coattails here. We'll try hang on to him, and then when we hit the outer of the oval track, we'll try boost. Well, we need to really try and hang on to him because Vettel shouldn't have that much boost at this early point in the race. 53%. We're almost even now, so he can respond with the boost. And we're saying that Alonso has flown off the track.
Any damage? Yeah, a lot of damage.
It looks like he understeered, just totally lost the back end there, didn't he? So, right. Alonso, there's going to be no challenge now. There was still the possibility if Hamilton crashed. Well, we're not going to come into the pits. There was the possibility if Hamilton crashed that Alonso could be back in the championship. But this is pretty much going to confirm it now for Hamilton. A decent result here for Hamilton. We'll see him crowned champion after this race. There'll be no way for Fernando Alonso to mathematically get back into this. So we're going to go back into high mode this time. We're still tons in front of Sebastian Vettel here. We do have boost. Vettel's using his boost. We'll let him get close on his boost and then we'll pull away again. Although Vettel seemingly found a little bit of pace there, kept up with us as we were using our boost. He's in high mode on his fuel load, so we're going to go the same. We can let this get down to about 1.1 ish. We can let it get to about there before we need to try and recover it. We just need to make sure we can keep Lewis Hamilton in first place here. We know the Ferrari is quicker than us. We just don't need a bad pit stop. That is what we desperately wanting to avoid here. We're not actually going to waste any of this boost unless we see Vettel using his boost to get close to us. We're holding a nice little gap of just over a second. We're not really going to boost. We know Vettel has gone through his tyre. We're gonna risk the one-stop strategy. We are lapping quite quickly. We'll use a little bit of boost here. We'll go down to about 32. Hamilton sets a really quick lap on that last lap of 130.7, opening up this gap now. And we're just gonna hold back way at the point where we can come in for the hard tyre. I don't know if Vettel's going to attempt to do that as well. We've got 12 laps to go on 11, so we can actually go overtake mode for one more lap possibly with the tyres in push mode. Once we know Vettel hits the pits, then we get an extra lap. We're going to see what he does. I don't think, well, the medium tyre is not going to get to the end of the race from here. It shouldn't do, so we're going to go now. We're going to go into overtake. We'll push these tyres. We use all the boost. So what is Vettel coming back out of the pits on? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Is he stuck in the pits? No, Vettel is stuck in the pits, holding up Raikkonen here. And he has gone for the hard tyre. So we're coming in as well for the hard tyre. We're going to one-stop this race. We'll go balanced. Looks like, once again, the Ferrari having a lot of problems here. After being back in contention, it looks like once again Hamilton could be, well, he won't set the fastest lap because he's going to be coming into the pits. And we'll go back to neutral, and we need to start recovering fuel from this lap. We do need to run at low mode at some point. Where are we going to get back out? We're going to get back out in third, but Ocon in the Force India and Gasly in the Toro Rosso, Kvyat in the Toro Rosso as well, all to pit still. We'll use the boost to get past him so he's not holding us up. We've got a Sauber of Ericsson in 5th place, so these cars going long from the opening stint. The cars at the back of the grid started on the hard tyre, so they're going a long way into this Grand Prix before possibly coming in for the softs. We've got Kvyat trying to fight back with us here. He's obviously... Is he actually pushing his tyres a little bit? No, he's got his fuel mode up a little bit. So we can just... Where's the next car to us? 7 seconds behind. That's Sebastian Vettel. So he's not actually that far behind. He wasn't in the pits that long, was it? I don't think it was Raikkonen. Was it Raikkonen who was in the pits holding Vettel up? Could have been either one of them, but I think Raikkonen's going to have to stop again. We've got Hamilton. We're sort of just trundling along now. We're just going to try conserve tyres. We'll keep them at the optimum temperature. Whilst we're this far ahead, we might as well try and recover the fuel that we try to recover. Vettel is still 7 seconds behind us, which is nice to see. We'll use a tiny bit of boost to make up for us being in low mode. We're almost on the back of Pierre Gasly now. His tyre's getting pretty worn here. 28%. He will be holding us up a little bit, although we see him fly off into the... we see him go flying off there as he... I think he must have turned his boost up. They are staying out. They've gone a long way in front. And 9 laps, so we still need to run in low mode for a little bit as well, don't we? Keep using the boost to make up for doing that. One back, 8 seconds behind, so Vettel's still lapping slow here. Pierre Gasly is going to come in this lap, so we don't really need to risk anything to get past him. We won't burn any tyres, we won't burn any extra fuel to try and overtake him. We'll just sit off him here because we know Ocon is possibly coming into the pits as well. And Gasly will be coming into the pits this lap as well. There they go, they're both into the pits. Kvyat follows his teammate into the pits as well. They get away, so we've got 6 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. We're just going to try and recover as much fuel as we can. He is lapping a little bit quicker than us at the moment. Vettel sets a quickest first sector. And we've got a lot of tyre left. Vettel's been burning through his tyre. And there we go, we see him actually burning through his tyre. We're going to leave it until he gets somewhere close. If he gets to within 3 seconds, then we'll turn back up. We've got 5 laps of fuel to retain after this one, so another in low mode. Vettel slowly catching us up here. Slowly catching us up. But we know we're going to start pushing our tyres pretty soon. Vettel is back into conserve mode now. And we're at a point where we can go back to medium, and we'll wait to push the tyres. We'll cool them down a tiny little bit to get them a little bit down into the blue, and then as we come across, right, we'll go attack on this lap. See what we can get back on Vettel now. Look, we're starting to pull away again now. We knew he was burning through his tyre to try catch up to us. We're just going to gain that advantage back now. See what sort of lap we can get. We were 6/10 down almost on the last lap. Are we going to be a lot quicker this lap? We see Hamilton. We've got a nice little gap there back to Sebastian Vettel. So we do a 1:29.1, an absolutely amazing lap from Lewis Hamilton on this hard tyre to the 1:31.3 of Sebastian Vettel. We're going to go back into conserve mode now and let these tyres cool down again. We've got low mode. What we'll do is we'll try to cool these tyres down, and then we'll try to set a really quick lap. We know we're on worn hard tyres. We know we've got a gap back to Sebastian Vettel. We can just sort of sit off here and let Lewis Hamilton recover. Might even go back up, cool them down for this lap, and then next lap we'll push everything all out. Well, not all out, but we'll go high mode with the fuel. Depending, we're going to see Vettel start catching us now. Just try to get these tyres cooled down a little bit so we can push them and have them in the optimum temperature when we go for a really quick lap. Right, so we're coming around this final bend now, so we're going to go into attack mode. We're going to go into high mode. The penultimate lap starting this time. We did a 1:31.6, a 1:28.9 from Sebastian Vettel. He's going all out as well. So quickest first sector of the race for Lewis Hamilton. Obviously at this point in the race, with the fuel load a lot down, there's only a tiny bit of fuel left in the car. We should be going a lot quicker. Look at that too. Is this going to be the quickest lap of the race from Lewis Hamilton? He wants to pit for fresh tyres, but look at that, a 1:27.8 on the hard tyres, the quickest lap of the race. We're going to go back to medium. Instead, well, actually, no, we'll keep it in push mode, and we can sort of just finish the race like that. Sebastian Vettel nowhere near us. So it looks like Bottas is going to pick up the last podium place. Obviously, Ocon doing really well. Pierre Gasly in the Toro Rosso doing really well. Obviously, that really early, really long first stint has worked out for a lot of these teams. Verstappen up into 6th in the Red Bull. Van Dorn having done 2 stops into 7th. Raikkonen having done 2 stops into 8th as well. Carlos Sainz done pretty well, and Danny Kvyat in the Toro Rosso. So where is Jenson Button? 18th, obviously. He's having problems with his car again. The 2 Williams outside the points as well. So it looks like Ferrari have now overtaken Williams in the championship. But Mercedes just off form here with Jenson Button. Is this enough for them to be able to start catching a few of the other cars up? We've got Raikkonen coming across the line, Carlos Sainz across the line, and Kvyat across the line as well. All pretty close together. We've just got 3 cars out on track. Ericsson and Button. Button looked like they were going pretty close then, but Ericsson managed to hold Button off. And Verline last place effectively as Alonso crashed out pretty early on. But another wonderful win for Lewis Hamilton. Does that make it 9 this season for Lewis Hamilton? Obviously a little disappointed with Alonso crashing out, but it doesn't mean anything to us at this point in the season. We've already got the championship confirmed. We can see the quickest lap of the race, a 1:27.8. No, Valtteri Bottas went quicker the lap after, and we got a really quick lap from Stoffel Van Dorn as well, a 1:27.0. So a few cars really pushed it. Must have been on that final lap. 1:27s as well for the Williams, but they're well out of sorts. Went for a 2-stop strategy. Didn't work out for them. They will now be a long way behind Ferrari, I would think. And we've got Vettel demoted. Vettel demoted 4 places. Ferrari pushing some illegal parts in their car. And Pierre Gasly, who could have been... No, he wouldn't have been. But Ocon actually makes it onto the podium due to the illegal parts in the Ferrari. Pierre Gasly gets knocked down 2 places. A Red Bull has again knocked down 10 places for Stoffel Van Dorn. I think that's the 3rd time that he's been caught this season. a 10-place grid penalty for Stoffel Van Dorn. So what we've got now, a 60-point gap. It's impossible for Fernando Alonso to recover that. Before this race, Alonso was still in it, depending on whether Lewis Hamilton finished outside the points or not. We're 279 points in front, nothing there. Just 6 points now between. Williams actually dropped out there with not finishing the points. They dropped down to 4 from second place. Red Bull have climbed above them, and they're going to be in a little bit of danger. Can they cling on to 4th race in the final race of the season? But Ferrari back up into second place. Red Bull 3rd. Pretty decent from Red Bull to get back up there. They've been pretty solid and consistent all season, and done a really good job of just sticking in and around there with Verstappen and Van Dorn in the car. But it's an excellent result for us. Zach Brown, happy that we came first. Marketability is still improving a tiny bit. No, it's not really improving. You'd think with the expected result of 5th and we came first, marketability is supposed to improve with that. I'm not sure why it isn't. This season has seen Alonso not pick up any skills at all. So next season, I'm guessing he's going to be degrading next season. But we put 1.3 million extra into the bank account. We now sit at 12 million pounds. We've got tons of money for next year's car. Possibly a lot of wiggle room even to work on the HQ next season. Although I don't really want to work on the HQ just in case it is our last season at McLaren if we win another championship, because we will then be moving on. We don't really want to be making McLaren overpowered. But maybe we can, and then we've really got a team to shoot for. We could make McLaren really dominant, and then that is the team that we have to aim to get past. They do have a great HQ at the moment. You do have the best factory and design centre in the game. But anyway, we'll finish this episode with the quick interview. Williams Grand Prix Ricciardo had a bit of a disaster in that race, finishing down in 13th. What's your analysis? And always, if you hit option C, it always gives them the personality trait in that they're open to discussing terms with you. So maybe next season, if we lose a couple of our drivers, we've always got Danny Rick as sort of a backup. He is actually rated the best driver in the game at the moment, possibly. Obviously, we can't see Lewis Hamilton here. He is rated a little bit better. He's not got not actually got a big contract, and his contract is nearly up. He would be interested in signing with us. He wasn't interested with us before last season, but maybe we should let him go into a different car, because I'm guessing maybe he will fill the seat at Mercedes when Jenson Button retires. Maybe that's what we should let happen, so we've got a little bit more competition next season. Because Danny Rick's done excellent in the Williams car to be 3rd in the championship. Vettel is a long way off in that he can't catch Danny Rick for 3rd place. Verstappen shouldn't be finishing high enough, so Ricciardo's pretty much guaranteed that 3rd place. It's been an absolutely amazing season for him in the Williams. And Jerome D'Ambrosio not doing too badly either in the 2nd Williams. Obviously a long way behind his teammate, but not too bad for a driver that is rated about 3 stars. Obviously, I'm guessing he's going to be replaced by Lance Stroll next season, because Lance Stroll was made the reserve driver. But he's good enough now. He was 3 stars at the beginning of the season. He's now 3.5, so he should be getting the seat here. Well, obviously, he probably will be getting a Williams seat, because I'm guessing Danny Rick's going to be leaving. Maybe he'll sign a new contract. We never know. But that's it for this episode. It's the first episode today. There will be another one coming later. The finale of Season 2 of this McLaren career. But until then, I will see you down the road in Sao Paulo for what is looking like a wet Grand Prix for the Brazilian Grand Prix. But until that time, goodbye.